So I've been eating vegetarian most of my life. Well, not really most of my life, but like sort of in my 20s, like the past decade, I've been eating vegetarian. And ever since I got to Da Nang in Vietnam, where like the energy feels very vata, like it's very fast, it's very air, like everything is just like that I've been finding very difficult time like grounding myself and being more out in my body, like compared to being in New Zealand, which is super calm and super grounding. So I find more and more I crave things that are more dense, like meat, like peanut butter, just like really like substantial shit that like I kind of want some weight in my body to sort of like ground me into this earth, into my skin, into my balls, right? And it's been really interesting because I haven't had this much meat in a very long time in the past month. And I can actually now notice the effects like very clearly of like being on a vegetarian versus being on a meat-based diet. And both I find have their pros and cons that I would like to talk about with you in this video, my dear. So actually, eating meat has been feeling really nice because it really puts you in your body. Like, who would have thought, meat, it's like your body, it's like really gets you in your fucking skin and your muscles, right? Like especially beef, I find, it's just that cow, that beefy beefness of like meat. It's just like so earthy and so real, like it really puts you in your skin. And I often find when I eat beef, like I don't feel as anxious. Like I'm more in my, like I'm just calmer. I'm more in my body in a way. Because like in a vegetarian diet, what tends to happen is it's like, it makes sense that a lot of Buddhists and spiritual people are into vegetarian diets or vegan diets, because it really does make your whole system lighter, right? It sort of elevates your body. Like when you're light, you float. You sort of float up into your upper chakras, into the heavens, and you transcend into another realm, right? So that's very good for sort of like spiritual awareness and intuition. But it's like if you're too high up there, and it's like you're sort of stuck in your head and you're floating in the clouds, and you can't sort of like be real and steady inside of your body, then you're like overthinking and you're sort of just like imagining things, and you're not actually doing things and being real in this world. Meat is much more like primal. It's like lower chakras. It's like when that's in your system, you kind of have this like this ooga like caveman like sort of ability to just want to do shit, right? But then it's like, well, if you overdo the meat stuff and you're too primal, then you don't have like higher level mental thinking and visions. That's sort of what makes humans great. And sure, it's like you might be able to do things, but you're very tunnel vision and you're kind of stupid as well. Like you don't have the bigger picture, right? Whereas it's like if you have the bigger picture but you don't do anything, then it just stays as a picture. So it's like you need the blueprint, but then you also need the workers to actually execute on the vision. And I find it's like if going on a plant-based diet or a vegetarian diet, I find is really good for getting the blueprint, but then going on a meat-based diet is really good for executing the blueprint. Or it's kind of like projectors and generators, if you want to see it like that in human design, on non-sacred beings and sacred beings. Depending on what you need in your life, you can sort of adjust your diet to help augment your goals. Like a lot of spirituality is about going from your lower senses into the higher ones, right? It's like going from the earth and transcending into the heavens. But for me, and I feel like for maybe a minority of people on the earth, that's like they start up in their heads. They're already very good in their heads and up in the sky. And where they would actually develop spiritually is actually going down onto the earth. So for them, it's like if they keep pushing the highness, especially if you're like a Vata, for example, like if you keep trying to go high into the air, that actually will put you more out of balance. And what you ideally need to do is to actually go into the earth, right? Maybe you want to eat heavier foods and denser foods, like into the kapha sort of foods.